And Coach Tim Watson from the Cedar Creek High School football team. They got their season off to a great start last night with a 28-7 win over my hometown, Cedar Grove. And Pirates off to a 1-0 start, 3 touchdowns from Bo Melton. So we'll catch up with Coach Watson here on a Saturday morning and get the recap of the game. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Hey, morning, Sully. Thanks for having me on, man. Sorry about that. We sorry we had to do that to your hometown, man.
That's all right. I was only there for a couple years when I was a kid, so no love lost there. But our producer Cole Raring said you better be on point today for the Linwood Panthers.
We're bringing the momentum to the Panthers today, man.
I should say head coach Cole Raring. You're in an assistant role down there today.
Heck yeah, man. I'm cool with that.
you give up the reins on the weekend?
Less stress.
Less stress. There you go. Tell us a little bit about last night. You guys got off to a what they're calling Week 0 start here, and you got a real big win against them last year, a little bit tougher this time around, and I know you were kind of anxious to see how your boys would react with a lot of new starters. You lost 17 guys from last year's squad. What was last night like, and how would you evaluate their performance?
It was a great great opener, great first game early on. I actually prefer playing Week 0. I can't imagine waiting too much longer. I mean, we really, we went to a team camp in Notre Dame back in June. We were on like a 6-day trip back then, so we've been kind of grinding for a while now. So waiting any longer, I know there's some teams that start Week 2 and they start in the middle of the month. I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah, Oakcrest not till the 19th.
Right. It's nice to start off early, and it felt good to kind of see these guys. We didn't play perfect football, but we showed some of the things that we could do. We're still a little banged up, but it was nice to kind of see them kind of fulfilling what we thought they could be for the 2015 squad, because you never know. You never know how the guys are going to respond.
Right.
And, throughout the summer, we knew those guys were going to have to step up, but a bunch of guys did.
Tell us a little bit about quarterback Jesse Milza. I know that was kind of one of the key things this year. You have a lot of great skill position players, and one of the questions was how efficient is he going to be in getting them the ball. How did he look last night?
He looked good. He looked good. I don't know the exact statistics, but he was pitching a couple to Bo Melton, so that helps you a little bit.
Yeah,
too.
sure.
That'll help your stat line, even if it's just a drag, or even if you're just dumping it out in the flat. Guys like Bo Melton, Amir Mitchell, and a bunch of our guys can turn something small into very quickly. But yeah, he looked good. I mean, they did a pretty good job. We didn't really play Amir. Amir had an ankle sprain, so we didn't really play him a whole lot. They had a big receiver that we kind of tried to focus Amir more on the defensive side, and Amir did an excellent job defensively, both with his run support. He made some fantastic tackles and was just all in on defense, and really held their guy in check, because they have a pretty good this kid's brother is a big-time receiver down in Miami. He's only a junior, and then they had a pretty good quarterback. So we were worried about their passing game a little bit. But Jesse did a great job just kind of spreading the ball a little bit last night. Of course, there's some things. This is the first time you're really seeing the bullets fly for real. So there's some things that we'll be able to look at. But I thought it was a pretty good night by him last night, and we feel very confident in what he's going to be able to do for us this year.
How about the offensive line? I know that was a big question mark for you guys coming in. How did they play?
They were solid. I think they know. Look, we're still relatively young, and there's still a ton of room to improve on both sides of the ball. But just looking at the film a little bit last night and a little bit this morning, there's nothing glaring that really stood out where it was hey, these guys, did atrocious here or there. But they were fighting, and that's the thing we wanted to see, just their aggressiveness, their punch at the line of scrimmage, really on both sides of the ball for the young guys. There was a lot, guys were flying to the football. Guys were being aggressive and flying around. And, really we've built this program to be that kind of team since its inception with, just high intensity. Our motto is eat, and that doesn't change. So we want high effort guys. And, peeking at the film, it looks like we kind of held those standards last night.
Kind of a cool way to start the season, a nice long road trip up to North Jersey. What do you learn about the guys in Week 0 here, or Week 1, whatever you want to call it? In terms of coming together. You got that long bus ride, and then you got to get off the bus and play. And it had to have been a nice bus ride home, obviously.
Yeah, you're not making that bus ride home it being very enjoyable if you don't have a win. So it's almost a couple hour trips, 120 miles or so. It was these guys enjoy each other. I mean, that's the one thing you could tell early on with this group. X's and O's aside, performance aside, from the beginning. I mean, even our bus trip to Notre Dame, these guys are, they're dancing around. They always bring a lot of juice to different things, and a lot of that. I tell you, Bo's making plays. He made some great plays last night, Bo Melton. But if you talk about a guy in the locker room that keeps things going, he's the guy that's always getting little beats going on the pads, and he'll be in there dancing, or he'll grab a microphone if one's around and kind of joke around. So he's awesome in terms of really keeping the guys loose and having fun, and that's just his personality. So we give him a ton of credit for that too. But the kids, those are the things these guys will remember too. Just the singing on the bus, playing around in the locker room, all the camaraderie stuff that you get from playing sports, and big road trips like that. Certainly, you can add that into the file.
I like that kid James Geisel too on the offensive line. He's kind of a funny kid.
Yeah. I really hope this group can reach their potential, because they're a great group to coach. I was excited to coach them, and I think it's a bunch of guys that like James is someone who's we call them program kids. We probably have 3 or 4 of those guys starting that didn't start a game. They didn't start a lick before this season. Mm-hmm. They just were guys that were in the weight room, maybe weren't the most talented or athletic as freshmen or sophomores, and just really worked in the weight room consistently. And it's just it's awesome when you see kids like that stick with it. Where sometimes, if a guy's not a starter as a sophomore, as a junior, that they want to pack it in. And,
right.
And we have some kids right now that are a testament to just working hard and staying consistent and buying in. And James is certainly one of those. And yeah, he's got a little quirky personality at times too.
Yeah, it's funny. I was taking a headshot of him in the preseason. He was like, "Hold on, let me make sure my hair looks good."
Yeah. He's all O-lineman though, man.
Yep. Yeah, you got to have those kind of guys, keeping everything together for you.
Yep.
All right, Coach, we're going to let you get going here. I know you got a busy weekend ahead of you with the good luck to the Linwood Panthers tonight. Cole Raring raising his fist over here. He's fired up for tonight. So
yeah.
Appreciate you jumping on board, and congratulations on the win. Big game next week against Buna. So guess you got to get back to work.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Gotcha.
2 weeks. We got the bye. So
okay.
We'll be ready for that one.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming on board. Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.
All right, that was Pirates coach Tim Watson, Cedar Creek. They came up with a big win against Cedar Grove last night, 28-7, 3 TDs by Bo Melton.